What if I were to tell you that the current best 40k game out right now is not Space Marine 2? Not at all. In fact, it's a modification for Men of War Assault Squad 2, known as the Ultimate 40k modification. Now, we're just taking a look at one of the fights, one of the battles, but we're going to be taking a look at quite a few of them in this video, just to show you guys how in-depth this mod is, allowing you to play from everything from Imperial Guardsmen to the Tau. That's right, it really goes in depth. It allows you to have all sorts of battles with all sorts of tanks, you know, of course, dreadnoughts, whatever you can really imagine, and it is just so absolutely in depth. If you like strategy games, you're gonna love it. If you don't like strategy games, you're gonna love it. I mean, there is so much to do, and as you can see right off the bat, we're playing as some Imperial Guardsmen assaulting a heretic temple, and it's already started. The action has begun. The gore, the carnage, it's unbelievable. I mean, I'm not kidding here. This is damn impressive. Now, we're gonna push through here, and I wanna ask those of you that enjoy this kind of content, those of you that wanna see some more battles set in the 40k universe here, let me know in the comments down below exactly what kind of fights you want to see. Do you want to see Guardsmen? Do you want to see Tau? Do you want to see Space Marines? Just let me know, and we can make it happen using this mod. In fact, today, we're going to take a look at just a little bit of the content the mod has to offer, but I think you can already see this is quite impressive. I mean, it certainly makes buying a 40k2 worthwhile, and the amount of different missions you can have is out of this world. Now, like I said, the name of this mod is the Ultimate Men of War modification. That's right. And I mean, the detail that goes into this mod actually, I think, even supersedes the base game, Men of War Assault Squad 2. In this particular part of the mod, this is just one of many. We play as a dreadnought of the Imperial Fists. We need to head to the square, but things are going to happen along the way. And as you can see, you absolutely entirely control this dreadnought. You could start firing with it. You could start jumping around with it if you wish. Whatever the hell you want to do. And this mod, this is just a tiny, tiny part of the modification. We've got a Death Corps of Krieg part. We've got a Guardsman part. We've got a Tau part. We're going to take a look at that before the end of the video. But it just really lets you get into the 40k spirit, especially if you enjoy strategy games. You are going to have a lot of fun with this. And look at that. It begins. We need to head to the square. Look at all of the Space Marines on the way with us, man. My goodness. It's going to get intense here. That's for sure. I believe the actual team that made it is a Russian team, but I can't be absolutely certain of that. Nonetheless, let's head out and let's get started. Just wanted to show you guys how we have control of the right arm here and of the left arm to fire missiles, things of that nature. Let's turn around. There are heretics in our midst, and we can actually also repair or do a fast repair of our systems just to make sure that everything is on a line. Again, this is just one tiny part of the mod. We're going to take a look at some more. I want to take a look at more of the Death Corps of Krieg stuff, more of the Guardsman stuff. It really puts a heavy emphasis on the Guardsmen for sure. If you're a fan of Guardsmen or if you're a fan of Tau, you're going to love it. So you can see this is just a tiny start. Let's take a look at another part of it. Death Corps of Krieg, more your thing. Yes, I know it's one of the focuses of the Guardsmen that is extremely niche, much like this channel, and that's what makes me absolutely love it. Right now, we have some Death Corps of Krieg soldiers. We're simply waiting for orders from our headquarters, and the goal in this particular mission is making sure that your Guardsmen survive. Those of you that know anything about the Guardsmen know that that's already quite a difficult mission challenge anyway, but believe me when I tell you that this particular mission is absolutely a blast. It really is. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of challenges, of course, But the goal is, of course, to have your guardsmen survive and to face an unbelievable and insurmountable amount of chaos enemies here. We've already got a defiled chimera nearby. Look at our guardsman going in a glorious attack with his flamer, trying to burn the behemoth down. He did his best, but at least he died for the Emperor. Isn't that what matters these days? I like to think so anyway. But nonetheless, let's take a look at some more content from this particular modification. That's right, it never ends, man. This is just one of the many missions available, and it's not even the best one. It's just the one, in my opinion, that showcases the Death Corps of Krieg really, really well. And you can see, I mean, everything from the las cannons to the chimeras to the defiled chimeras, they really try and fit in every little bit of detail into this particular modification. So one huge part of this modification that focuses on the guardsmen is the Siege of Vraks. That's right. And this siege, of course, is a siege of the guardsmen by a huge group of heretics. You need to try and defend the area, but in the initial part of the siege, you actually need to try and retake an area that has been conquered by a bunch of heretics. It's really, really detailed, of course, a lot to go here, and this is going to be the initial point you need to break through. It is a heavily fortified area, and the heretics will stop at nothing to hold it. As you can see, you need to move through with your guardsmen through here, all the way through with these guardsmen grenadier, and eventually you need to get to these enemy generators and shut them down. Again, there are so many different mission types in this mod. This is only one of them, but it's one of many which allows you to take a more offensive approach, which I really like. It really allows you to see the horror of being a guardsman, because when you see the amount of men that you're going to lose on these assaults just to break through a tiny portion of heretic defenses, you're going to understand why these guys are so dedicated to the Emperor, why they will stop at nothing to defend their Emperor. And there we go. In this mission objective, we have to conquer the height. And we've got a whole bunch of guardsmen here, you can see, as well as you can see here, some sentinels. Some of them are equipped with rocket launchers. Some of them are equipped with las cannons. And that's going to be the start right there. Just the initial start of the fight. The heretics are advancing, but we're going to have to launch our own attack. And I'm going to show you how it's going to go against an enemy position here. We've also got some Cyclops tanks. Look how quick these are. I think the Cyclops tanks are the most broken part, and I don't mean that in a good way, of the mod, because they kind of move through the trenches just very oddly. That's not the case for anything else here in this particular modification. But there we go. The attack commences, and the goal is to get our men through. And there we go. We better go with the chimeras. Wow, right away we're taking shots. Pretty crazy, but we're not going to stop. We're going to keep on pushing here for the Emperor, pushing on through, and we're trying to head for that gap, guys. We're trying to get to that little yellow marker, and you'll see what the enemy has in store for us. It's not pretty, let's put it that way. Here we go. Come on, guardsmen, for the Emperor. And there we go. Look at that. They've already actually taken out our core sentinel. Our guardsmen are still trying to break through, but you can see the defenses are damn strong, to say the least. And we're going to just try and muster up as many guardsmen as we can and send them through those defenses. If we get close, we can see the heretics, and they are proper chaos cultists, man. They look the part, that's for sure. Let's push on through and see if we can't destroy these chaos cultists. But again, this is a mission in itself, and it's the Siege of Vraks is a collection of a bunch of different missions. This is just the first part. So if you think this is a challenge, you can imagine just how difficult this can actually get over time. And we're still getting reinforcements. We'll continue getting reinforcements throughout the fight, because that first wave is unlikely to break through the chaos defenses. I mean, obviously, these chaos troops, they're not going to give up without a fight. They've got they've got gods to please, I should say. We've got the God Emperor to please, but nonetheless, they are going to fight to the very end, much like ourselves. There's some grenades, beautiful. I don't think you guys have noticed, or you probably have, that the actual gore in this mod is insane. So there we go. You need to take the height. Open the door leading to the neighboring front. This will allow you to, the equipment to go to the height and to reach the generators. So there we go. Load them up, boys. Got some grenades going all over the damn place. Fight them, boys. Fight them. That's the kind of grenade action I'm looking for. Now, like I said, this is not all. This mod has a lot more to offer. So let's take a look at what else it has. And we haven't even touched upon, even at the end of this video, we haven't touched upon 5% of what this mod has to offer. There we go, some additional reinforcements to continue the fight against chaos. The meat grinder continues, and it'll continue for a long time to come. Send in the guardsmen. Fan of the Tau, perhaps? Well, got good news for you. You can go ahead and play the Tau in this map. As you can see, we've also got additional Tau armor. Everything from the Prana missile launchers to this, just the standard Prana. Of course, we can take our Tau troops and move on through. In this particular fight, we are facing orcs, but in other missions, you are facing Imperial Guardsmen. Sometimes you're facing Chaos Guardsmen, and everything in between. I believe there's even a Tyranid mission, but I want to be clear that this is such a vast mod that I haven't even touched a tiny percentage of it. I mean, there's so much to do here. There's so much going on that really, it feels almost endless. There's even another guardsman focus towards the end of the mod, which is kind of very storyline-ish, similar to what the Space Marine action you saw before. But you can see here we're playing as Tau taking on a group of orcs. And it is, of course, gonna be a tough one, a tough fight, to say the least. Thankfully, you can continually bring in additional reinforcements, everything from Tau anti-tank teams to fire warrior squads to even tank crew. Really just amazing. Look at those orcs, man, coming in for the attack. They're not giving up. They are definitely not giving up. And we're going to have to face them with the rest of our Tau warriors. Let's go for it. Never going to give up a fight against the orcs. And they're looking for a fight, obviously. Get the Pariah focusing fire over there. That's what I'm talking about, baby. I absolutely love it. Now, like I said before, if you enjoyed this sort of thing, if you want to see more, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to focus on one of these many different maps, scenarios, whatever you want to call them, and show you guys them in detail. This is just almost too much to expect from just a modification. I truly think this modification is probably larger than the entire Men of War 2 game itself. My goodness, look at this orc. He's a big one.